In today's video, we're going to discuss a word that gets bandied around a lot, compression. I'm going to be talking to you about passing more energy from the golf club to the golf ball to improve your efficiency. Make sure you check this video out. Jon Watts here from the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me out on the tee, and today's video is a word that gets used a lot. We're going to be talking about increasing your compression of the golf ball. If you're new to my channel, you do find this helpful, please hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and consider subscribing to my channel. At least 2 instructional videos a week for absolutely free. So compression, what we're really talking about is actually passing more energy from the golf club to the golf ball, and actually something that golfers get wrong. They often think that they're perhaps passing the most amount of energy from club to ball with a driver. It's actually the putter. And the reason the putter passes more energy from the golf club to the golf ball is it has less loft, okay? So when we're increasing the loft on the golf club into our irons, we're not going to actually compress the golf ball as much or pass as much energy from the club to the ball that we're really talking about here. So how do we improve compression when we're going into our irons? So I'm going to hit here a mid-iron that actually isn't quite going to get back to this target. It's about 200 odd yards away, this par 3. But I want to do this perhaps with more of a mid-iron rather than a long iron to discuss it, as it's going to be a little bit easier to discuss. What I want to try and feel like I'm doing is taking a little loft off the golf club. So if I can take a little loft off the golf club earlier by improving my wrist angles and the club face position, I'm now in a position where I can compress the golf ball a little bit more, pass more energy club to the ball. The worst thing we can do is have that club face wide open. Here we're increasing the loft and we're reducing compression. We're actually passing less energy club to the ball. That smash factor, that efficiency would be a lot lower. So what we're trying to do in the downswing to improve our efficiency, as I said, is take loft off the golf club. Now, we want to try and notice what the club face is looking like and be aware of our wrist angles to do that. So in the downswing, what we're looking for is the wrist to actually move a little bit this way, feeling like the knuckles move a touch more behind the wrist. And I've filmed a video on that. I'll put a link just here, well worth checking out. I'm not going to discuss it in as much detail today, but check out that video talking about the wrist angles. I've done a few on it. We're wanting to feel like we actually get the knuckles moving a little bit more behind the wrist, and the club face is going to feel like it points a little bit more behind me for longer rather than the club face pointing towards me, which would mean my knuckles have gone more forwards. So knuckles behind, club face pointing behind me longer, and if I get into that last parallel position, you'll see there the leading edge more matches my spine angle. Now from that position, I can turn and my handle is a little bit more forwards and I'm taking some loft off the golf club. I'm going to compress it better. If I have that face open, I'm going to actually be making some sort of movement to try and shut the face or return with that face way open, high right, lacking in compression. So very, very quickly, what I'm trying to feel is knuckles go behind me, club face point to the camera behind me to take some loft off the golf club. And that should mean through impact, I can have my handle a little bit further forwards rather than this way into impact. So get that feeling, knuckles behind me, club face pointing behind me. Let's take some loft off. Let's try and check on video that club face position pre-impact. I don't hit them much sweeter than that. Ball turf strike, it doesn't need to be a deep divot to be talking about adding compression, but we should see, if we measured it on a launch monitor, taking some loft off. So I generally hit down on an 8-iron by about 5 degrees, and I'm generally de-lofting it by about 5 or 6 degrees. So I'm trying to feel like those knuckles move behind me, the club face points behind me, and the checkpoint on video would see that the club face is more matching my spine angle rather than the toe up in the air, or worse still, the club face pointing airborne. Let's hit one more, get that same feeling of compressing the golf ball by de-lofting the golf club. Not as sweet a strike, definitely still got that same sensation of what I was trying to feel in the downswing. If we can take some loft off the golf club, We're not going to take it down to the loft of a putter, but if we can take some loft off the golf club, we can compress the golf ball because we'll have our handle a little bit more forwards into impact and start to get that ball turf strike as well. So increase your efficiency, increase the distance you're getting out of the golf club by checking that club face position pre-impact, and the work is really to do with the wrist angles. If this video has helped, as I said there at the start, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and please consider subscribing.